Now, you probably are catching on that one of the most important things about a relationship is listening.
Huh?
Exactly. And listening is incredibly important. And one of the terms you can learn in counseling is about active listening. And active listening means you are really engaged in the process. And you can you can make obsessive eye contact, but you also can rephrase or restate for them what you heard them saying. This is tremendously powerful. And I remember a conference I was at where I did active listening with a complete stranger and practically teared up listening to them restate what they heard me saying. It's really, really powerful. Now, there are some things that get in the way when we're trying to listen. We are usually thinking about something else. Our brain actually has the ability to think about a lot more things than just the words that someone else is saying. And we also very easily get caught up with defensiveness. Mm-hmm. We're thinking about how they're wrong and what we can say to correct them or what we're going to say next. And that really gets in the way of being a good listener.
So one of the things that we have recognized is that you can either be a passive listener. Now, this is when your nonverbals say everything, but you're listening to what your spouse is saying. So you may be looking away, or you're rolling your eyes, or you're not even engaged at all. And I know Abigail and I've talked about this, that there were times that she would be talking with me or talking at me. It's probably what it felt like. And she'd be like, you're not listening to the thing I'm saying. And I could restate what she said.
That was so annoying.
But it really did not show her love because I wasn't paying attention. And honestly, if she wouldn't have asked right then, I wouldn't have remembered in 5 minutes. But because she kind of hit that, I was able to say it. But when we passively listen, we don't really retain what it is we're actually talking about. And so the example we gave of Abigail, could you want to restate that?
Sure. And when we do active listening, it's almost like catching, it's playing catch. And
It
you
is.
really want the other person to be able to catch the ball. And when you throw it, you're going to throw it in such a way that the other person's going to try to catch it.
And that's the benefit of the formula, especially when you're first learning how to do this. So Abigail is going to throw it to me, and then I'm going to see if I caught it.
Okay. So I'm feeling isolated. I really appreciate all the hours you're putting in and the work that you're doing. But I am feeling more alone than ever in the kids and the household responsibilities, and I want to find time to talk about it.
Okay. So I heard you say you're feeling isolated. You appreciate how many hours I'm putting in, but you're feeling isolated or alone with the kids and the household chores, and you want to find a time to talk about it. Is that right?
Yes, that's
Okay.
it.
So I restated what she said. It wasn't verbatim. I didn't parrot it, right? Because the idea is that you're processing what you're hearing. It doesn't mean that I agreed with her. Mm-hmm. It doesn't mean that we're not going to have a discussion about it. But what it does mean is she knows that I heard what she was trying to say. And as she said, that shows her love. But also, when I miss it, we can end up having a discussion about two totally different subjects. Because I thought I heard one thing, and what I think maybe was that she wants me to work less. Well, maybe that's not what it is. Maybe she wants to find a way for me to work more, but for her to have somebody else come in and help. That's the thing. She feels alone. That's the key. She's feeling isolated. And so she's not telling me to work less. She's not saying she wants a friend. She's just simply saying, here's the issue. And it's not us versus each other. Now we're in this together. So because she threw it to me, now it's my turn to kind of throw back. But again, we're not going to have a discussion right now. All she's asked for is to find the time to talk about it.
And I want Scott to have time to do the 3 Ps on this topic.
So the only person that can know how long I need is me. She can't figure this part out. So what I need to think through is, okay, well, is this a hot topic for me? Is this a cold topic? Do I need a lot of time? Some people say, well, I could come back in 5 minutes, or I don't need any time at all. But what you've just told your spouse is this is so unimportant to you, you don't need to take any time to think about it. So at minimum, 15 minutes or half an hour. If it's a big issue, you might need a day to think about it. But you can't go 2 weeks. You can't go a month. I'll come back in December. No. You've got to be very realistic on this. But you do also have to give the appropriate amount of time to do your 3 Ps and know what it is you're thinking. So I would then say to her, so I hear this. I would like, how about after dinner tonight? The kids can watch a show, and then you and I can sit down and talk. It's 7 o'clock on the couch.
That sounds good. So you're saying 7 o'clock on the couch, the kids can watch a show.
Yes, that's correct.
Okay.
Now, who set that time and who set that place? I did. So whose job is it to be there at 7 o'clock on the couch and to make sure Abigail knows? See the benefit here? It's not that she's going to be chasing me down. I now own the time and place. So now we're in this together. And so the next conversation may not be solving it. In fact, it probably won't be. It's just going to be making sure we understand you're going to continue to use active listening, which will control the emotions, control the environment, and go back and forth in a very logical, unemotive way. And that way you can actually start trying to solve the issue or manage the issue versus starting to fight about it.
See, many times we come to each other with the issue, but we also come with our idea of how the issue should be resolved. And right there, we shortchange the whole process. And oftentimes we miss what the person was feeling and what was going on, and we can't move forward. And I would just echo what Scott said about taking time to do the 3 Ps, because you shortchange God when you take him out of the equation and you say, I can respond in my flesh right now. I've got all the pieces I need of this puzzle. That's really not fair. And it's unfortunate, and I want you to go and do the 3 Ps and take some time to let God speak to you and to reflect on what part of this maybe you could own, or you could hear where your spouse is coming from. And that is powerful, and that's the way that you guys can grow deeper in your communication with each other.
So you're going to have some move to action on this week. You're each going to develop a couple of formulas that we were going to want you to share throughout the week. You're not going to be perfect at this. It comes easier to some people than others. And so don't get mad at your spouse if they're struggling. We're in this together. Help your spouse grow as a brother and sister. And so if they're struggling, don't beat them up. Instead, love them through it and try to help them and care for them.